I used to hate going to the gym filled with mirrors. First of all, I didn't really like looking at myself, so seeing myself while I was working out wasn't exactly a confidence booster. And I always resented the unashamed gym goers who would look themselves right in the eye in the mirror and admire their Adonis-like body. 10,000! Whoa! What a warm-up! It wasn't until years later, after about 7 years of practicing CrossFit, and first rule of CrossFit, tell everyone you do CrossFit, that I realized that while there were some unabashed gym goers who like to see themselves in the mirror, there was more of a reason behind it than just self-admiration. But before we get into why every speaker and leader should record, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and ring that bell so that you can be notified on all content related to confidence, communication, and storytelling. I recognized how valuable it was to see yourself in your practice and to notice the mistakes that even a coach can't notice. Because here's the deal. Only we know and understand what is happening in our head when we are performing at our highest level. There are some mistakes that we make that we don't notice unless we actually see ourselves in the moment of high stress and high stakes situations. I used to think that CrossFit just meant get stronger, get faster right away as soon as possible. But real strength, real success doesn't come in the heavy lift. It actually comes in the nuances, the little details that others might be missing, including yourself. Vince America only records to watch his brilliance in action. And it's the exact same thing in speaking. When we are speaking, there are so many different things happening in our brains. We are receiving so many different points of information from our audience, from our outline, from our brain, from our nerves. There's all of these complexities mixed into one that we oftentimes miss some of the key details that could be the difference between being effective and being ineffective. Yes, we as speakers can fake it till we make it. If you've had good experience and good training, you can stand up in front of an audience with confidence, power, and joy. However, the difference between good speakers and great speakers are those little nuances. And here's the deal, and I say this with full understanding of how it could impact my public speaking coaching business. No coach, no public speaking coach is ever going to be able to determine how great you can be in those moments of high stress and high anxiety and high stakes more than you can. Because only you can determine what you were thinking, what your mindset was, what your decision-making process was in the moment of speaking that led you to an effective or an ineffective presentation, or even an effective or ineffective moment. So whether you're a novice speaker or you're a seasoned orator, I cannot stress this enough. It is critical for speakers and leaders to always, always, always record themselves while they are speaking. Now, if you are as passionate about your speaking business as I am, something probably just clicked in your brain. You probably thought, well, wait a minute, Eric. Hold on. I can't get a professional photographer and videographer to every single one of my events. That's not only expensive, but it's unreasonable. And I totally understand that type of thinking. As a speaker, I want excellence, and I want any video, audio, or photo of me speaking to be high quality, but it doesn't apply to this context. Your recordings aren't for the world. Your recordings are just for you. Think about this in a traditional sports context. A Major League Football team will play a game, and immediately, the very next practice, the first thing that they will do is they'll watch game film of that particular game. They'll analyze what went well and what didn't go well. And that's what you're doing with this type of recording.
It's possible that I may not be doing this right, and I could probably, maybe...
You're using these recordings as game film to understand where you could have been more effective and where you already were effective, so you can multiply and replicate those moments more. And here's the deal. you don't really need a whole lot of advanced technology. Let me show you what I do. Here's what I do. It's super simple. I take my phone, I open up a recording app, usually just the voice memo. I start to record about 5 minutes before I am to present. And if I am mic'd up, I will find the nearest speaker to the nearest projection device, and I will put my phone as close to that projection device as possible. Then when I'm done, I hit stop, and when I get home, I upload it to a transcription service. Now, there are a lot of different transcription services that you can use to upload an audio file and get it instantly transcribed. Then I take that transcript and I read it as if I'm reading my words for the first time. I annotate with what worked, what didn't work, where my language wasn't quite as precise, and where those moments, those key moments that really captured the audience, where they were effective and where they were not. Then I tighten my craft. I find the areas that weren't effective and I rehearse, and I rehearse, and I revise, and I rehearse, and I revise, and I rehearse, and I think you get the picture. Then in my next speaking opportunity with the same topic, I record and then I compare and contrast. Am I growing? Am I declining? What questions did I get that I wasn't prepared for? What moments did I get that I wasn't prepared for? Now, I totally get the resistance. Listening to myself speak and watching myself speak on audio or video, it's a little cringeworthy, for sure. And that's why you are the most effective public speaking coach for you. Because only you can see the nuances, those things that bother you about the way that you communicate in your face, and only you can make the adjustments to fix them. And in addition to the fear, there's something even more beneficial. You're going to find that most of the fear, most of your anxieties, most of the moments where you thought, oh no, I totally bombed that, you didn't. You didn't totally bomb it. 99% of the mistakes that we think we make in a public presentation are right here. They're not out there. But you're not actually going to know that. You're not going to rewire the neurons in your brain to transform your fears into fuel unless you see it for yourself. And again, I know this is bad for business, but no public speaking coach is going to be able to show you that your fears are not as bad as they seem. So, if you are a leader and you are a speaker, I cannot encourage you enough. Hit that record button every single time that you speak. I know it's challenging. I know there's a lot of resistance to it, but try it a few times and watch how your speaking confidence continues to grow. You oftentimes think, how is this going to go? How am I going to present? How am I going to improve? When you hit record and you let your audio device be your speech coach, you can just be present in the moment with your audience. And although there is always room for improvement for all leaders and all speakers, you're going to see that you're actually really interesting, engaging, powerful, joyful, and confident to be listening to. Until next time, make sure that you keep yourself off of mute and speak up your story. I'll see you next time.